So first of all, let us start with the introduction of the deep learning first. We will start with some terminologies. To begin with, some terminologies we will discuss, and then we will discuss deep into the actual topic, deep learning. Okay, so this data science term has been very popular, and whatever may be the domain of the people, maybe it is management, maybe it is manufacturing, healthcare. So all different domain people, they are actually getting influenced by the term data science. And I have a very simple and easy habit of spreading the words and trying to understand that what sort of things can be done under any particular domain or area. So data science, if you see that we have two simple terms over here. One is data and another is science. And now if we talk about that what exactly is data and what exactly is science, this has been very much spoken about and very much being discussed. And you must have read or heard or maybe listened to a lot of talks and discussions about data. But the primary thing is that it is all about data. Data is the most important part. If you remove data, then basically we left with nothing. It originates from the data, it revolves around the data, and whatever we are going to discuss today, that also completely depends on data. So I hope you all agree to this part. Something to be highlighted on data is that we have different types of data, and normally we call them as six V's of data. That we have very high volume of data being produced, and that too with a very high velocity. And we have a variety of data which is being produced. Then this data generates a great value to research and development and to businesses as well. And sometimes this data basically becomes sometimes it is very much trustworthy and sometimes we cannot trust the data. So that basically brings a factor called as veracity. And then we have something called as variability. So these are the factors which make data as big data, and this is the data we are actually experiencing today in all different sectors and functional areas in industries. And then the second term we have is science. So if you see that science, I look science from, I believe when we were in third standard or so. So that time there was a first subject which was called as EVS was introduced, and then formally, I believe from the secondary standard, like sixth standard, subject in science was introduced. So if we see that what exactly is science, then there's so many things which comes under science. It's a very it's like umbrella term which contains so many things. Like if you want to do some experiments, so those experiments they come under science. If you want to do some or record some observations, even that is science. If you want to study some phenomena, then that is also science. So you can see that whatever you are doing, like experimentation, observation, study, and then if to go beyond, if you are performing some mathematical operations on something, even that comes under science. So science has got so many activities which comes under science that it could be as simple as maybe gathering some information. Okay, so even gathering the information also comes under science only. And then making some research, okay, doing some research or working on some surveys, even that is science. So you can see that multiple activities comes under science. Now it is up to us that all these activities we do to which particular experiment or to which particular area. For example, if we all try to observe, you can look on the wall ceiling fan, right? So the wall ceiling fan, it is hanging on top of the wall, and now try to observe that you can put it on and it will start the rotation. Now, once it is starting to rotate, that time you will see that it will create some sort of air, I'll say pressure, or it will throw the air towards the downwards. So what is happening over here? This is basically a physical phenomena. Now this physical phenomena, if you try to understand this physical phenomena, we call this as physical science. We can call this as physical science. And similar way, if we are, let's say, walking down into a garden, and we are able to see that there are groups of people, okay, they are doing exercise or yoga, they are doing, okay, then we see that some of the people are talking, some of the kids are playing. What we are doing now, we are observing a social phenomena or social life phenomena of people. So this basically gives us that this is social science, okay, which deals with the study of how human beings behave, how they basically interact with each other. So the the activities which come under science, if you work on those activities to a specific area or to a specific domain, then that science becomes a science of that particular area or science of that particular domain. So similar way we can have chemical science, biological sciences, life sciences. We have pharmacy, we have chemistry, we have like so many different um, streams of sciences we have, right? But here if you see that we are more concerned towards data, we are more concerned towards data, and therefore the science which we are talking or we are interested towards is data science. So these activities we'll be doing with the help of data. I believe somebody is unmuted, some accounts are unmuted, so please you can mute yourself. So we are talking about data, and what we will do is we will be doing all such activities with data only. Okay, so now we have data, and what all can we do? We can basically collect the data, we can organize the data, we can do some experiment with the data, we can apply some algorithms algorithms to the data, we can do some modeling with the data, we can visualize the data, so, and a lot of things. Okay, a lot of things we can do. So if we do all these activities and we try to do these experiments and try to collect the observations, then basically now we will call this as data science, because whatever scientific activities are there, we are performing with data now. So I believe this makes it very simple definition or understanding of data science, that data science is all the practices, all the techniques we apply on data in order to get some useful insights out of the data. So the ultimate objective of data science is that we should get some meaningful information, insights. That is the ultimate objective of data science. So this is the first term which we actually need to understand, that what exactly is data science, because it all is coming from data only, and science is all the activities. And you can also start formulating a hierarchy in your mind, that something which comes on top, that is data science. Okay, on very much top, something which comes is data science. So this is the first term. Now going forward, second term I would like to introduce is data mining. Okay, so data mining, if you see that mining is a very common term, and we all have knowledge of mining, which is let's say if you are looking for gold mining. Okay, so in case of gold mining, what happens? In case of gold mining mine, if you go, will you be getting gold over there? The answer is no. You won't be getting gold. You need to extract gold out of it. Okay, that is the real meaning. That you need to extract gold out of gold mine. So, mining, mining. Mining is an activity of extraction. Now, what do you want to extract? So, if it is a gold mine, Then you need to extract gold, right? Extract gold out of the impurities. That is the thing you have to do actually, right? But in case of data mining, what you have to extract? You have to extract useful information. You have to extract useful information in case of data mining. Okay. And that we also call as insights. So data gives insight. That insight we need to identify. And how will you do that? Okay, what is the process? So this can be done with the help of identification of patterns. You need to actually understand patterns, and once you understand pattern, then you are able to do this. Okay, so yes, so here if you see that we are talking about data mining, and data mining objective is to find useful insights, and useful insights can be found with the help of identifying the patterns. Now, if you see the objective of data science and objective of data mining, you will see the similarity that data science also tells that some useful information it has to find, and even data mining tells the same thing. So both of them they tell similar thing. Okay. So therefore, if there is a very thin line we need to draw between them. Data science can have multiple tasks. Let's say data science is having around 10 number of tasks. Then what will happen to data mining? So if data science is having these many tasks, then data mining will have little less. Okay, little less than that. So this is how is the relation between data science and data mining. So this is data science and this one is data mining. Okay, so this is what is the relationship. Now, but both share the objective. Okay, because if you see that the objective, the primary objective remains same, but a lot of activities additionally come under data science. It may be um, generation of the data, collection of the data, cleaning of the data. So a lot of activities which come under data science, and few of them may not come under data mining. That may be a possibility. Okay, so now let me introduce you to the next term after data mining. We have artificial intelligence. Now, here we should take some example in order to clearly understand these things. Now, data mining, if you see, is all about logics and algorithms. Okay, it may come from statistics also. So if I have to clean my room, what do I need to do? I basically need to understand that I should have good understanding of what is clean and not clean. So I should have this understanding, like what exactly is clean and what exactly is not clean, right? So that understanding I should have. Then second thing I need to understand is that what are the type of dust may I find? So whatever dust particles are there or whatever needs to be cleaned, I need to have a sound understanding of that. And then I need to have a technique. I need to have a technique to clean. So these things I actually require as a human being also, right? And if I try to work on this, then basically probably it will become a simple algorithm. Okay, there will be a algorithm or a step-by-step solution which I can follow and I'll be able to clean my room. So I will put this under data mining. Why? Because in order to work on that what is dust and what is not dust, what is clean and what is not clean. So I'm talking about patterns. So here I'm talking about patterns. And data mining tells that we should be able to identify the patterns, and patterns will give us insights. The insight here would be whether some place is clean or not. That particular knowledge or insight we will get, and then I can clean up everything, and after that again I can check is it clean or not. So again I'll get an information that yes, it has got cleaned. So this is what happens in case of data mining, that we try to identify a pattern, and we have a logic to achieve our objective or target, and with the help of that logic we try to achieve our objective or try to achieve our target. Okay, this is what we do. Now understand one more thing. So this is how we do, right? Now next thing is that I I have so many tasks to do that I just want to automate this particular task. Okay, I want to automate this particular task. So what I do, I basically create a machine, a device, and inside a device, I put all these things that how to clean or how not to clean. I put these things into a device. That is something I try to do. And luckily, my device is able to, okay, with the help of sensors, it is able to and a logic also inside it to identify things, and it has got actuators also in order to clean up the things. So I created a device, and that device is able to do the same thing which I was manually doing. Now, which one is better? Just to help human beings achieve more and better tasks, this approach is better to basically work with a device, right? And this is the birth of artificial intelligence over here. So here, this is artificial intelligence. Okay, this is artificial intelligence here. So, artificial intelligence is a branch of data mining where we have machines which can perform intelligent actions. So, here we can see that machine is able to perform some intelligent action which normally a human does. Okay, so whenever you will see and experience that machines are performing something which a human being does, that basically is an example of artificial intelligence. And here, 4 points are very much major. The 4 points are that a machine which can act, and before acting, think humanly, and after that, act humanly, think logically, and that is what is artificial intelligence. Okay, so now what will happen if let's say this was a news, basically a funny news, that uh, one automatic vacuum cleaner, okay, so was cleaning up the surface, and normally you can see human hairs, they are basically they fall down and the vacuum cleaner cleans them also. But this time what happens, a lady was sitting, and her hairs were touching the floor, and the vacuum cleaner actually thought that those hairs are dust only, and it started to clean them. That means there's a suction pump, it started to suck up that particular those hairs. Okay, so sometimes the devices, they are not very clear about right and wrong, like what they are doing, is it right or it is wrong? Okay, and this happens, and this is a natural thing which happens with devices. Similar is the case with we have automatic washing machine. Okay, so if you put your clothes into it and you just start it bypassing the detergents and all, then it is going to work in its own way and will clean up the things. But now, let me tell you. Now, if you put some of the kitchen plates and spoons and maybe some balls into the washing machine, still it will start, rotating and working, because the washing machine is not having a good idea about that what is actually being put inside it. So this is something which is missing in case of artificial intelligent products. Okay, AI products. This is something which is missing. Okay, and this is very important thing. And we call this as the learning ability. What do we call it as? We call it as learning ability. So we say that the machine is missing the learning ability. Learning ability. The machine is missing the learning ability. Now, what is going to happen if the machine is not having learning ability? Then there are high chances that it will keep on committing mistakes, right? So whenever some new input is there, That time machine is going to commit some mistakes. And if we want to avoid it, we'll have to come up with something which is called as machine learning. So here we have a concept which comes as machine learning, which is a subset of artificial intelligence. So I hope you are able to create the complete hierarchy in the mind that how we are going ahead. So on top we have data science. After data science we have data mining. Specialization of data mining is artificial intelligence, and subspecialization of artificial intelligence is machine learning. So this is what is the hierarchy till this point of time. Okay, now machine learning, very important, very much interesting topic because everything comes from here. So can I get some inputs for this machine learning ML? So now this machine learning, ability of a machine to learn. The question comes, what exactly is learning? What is learning? So learning could be acquiring knowledge, correct? What else? What is learning? Study of something. Okay. So, and gaining some experience. All these are learning, like acquiring some knowledge, formally sitting and reading out something, looking at, watching some videos, having some technical, non-technical discussion on a particular subject. Okay, gaining some practical experiences. So all these are the modes of learning. And what is happening when we are learning? What's happening whenever we are learning? What is exactly happening? So if you see that when we are learning, what is happening? We are actually dealing with data. Just try to think. Whenever you are learning something, learning doesn't mean only sitting in a lecture and listening. It doesn't mean learning. Learning means anything. Like you can go outside and you are observing. Just now, I'm able to hear outside the windows some birds are chirping. So I'm able to learn that birds are chirping. This is also learning. Okay. So learning can be anything, any experience, any new thing as an input we are taking, and we are able to organize that information in a logical manner. So if we are able to organize and understand that information, that is learning. Okay. So we are talking about machine learning, machine learning. Okay. That means machines can also learn. Machines can also take data as input. That is what we are talking about here. Okay. So, yes, the ability of a machine to learn and then to come up with solutions, to come up with decision making without much of human intervention, that is called as machine learning. Now, in case of machine learning, what happens? We have to give input, and that is data is input to machine. Machine has got some model, it learns, and the model only makes prediction. That helps in okay, make some decision making. This is what happens in case of machine learning. And there are multiple approaches. There are different types of learnings are there. Okay. So this is machine learning. And that too without human intervention. Okay, human doesn't need to intervene multiple times. That is called as machine learning. Fine. Now, machine learning has got different types. Different ways are there how machine actually learns, and they are basically classified as a major, if you see, into three parts. Okay, so there are three parts how they have been classified. Now these three parts are, one is supervised, one is unsupervised, one is, so supervised, unsupervised, and reinforcement. These are the three types of learnings which we have. Okay, so let me help you quickly with that. Okay, now, so you can see that the kind of hierarchy we have till now formed, or the kind of relation we have now is, this bigger circle is data science, then we have a smaller circle as data mining, And after that, we have a little more smaller circle. Okay, this one is the top one is data science, then data mining. This one is artificial intelligence. One more circle, and this is your machine learning. Okay, so this is how it is. Okay, this circle is machine learning. So this is how it basically gets into specializations. Okay, now ML has got multiple types, and let me complete this diagram for deep learning also, which we are about to discuss now in some time. So machine learning has got one specialization, which is called as deep learning. So this is the whole diagram. Now, in a nutshell, you can see this is the whole diagram. Okay, this is how it actually happens. Fine. Okay. So I was telling about three types of learnings which we have, and let me just bring them here. Let's do a simple exercise. Now have a look at this particular image. You might think that we
Yeah.
have come back to nurseries. Okay. So in nurseries, the way the pattern we actually got to learn is something like this. Like you can learn from here. You can see we have image, and then that image is called as banana. We have image mango, and we know it is called as mango. Similar with custard apple, watermelon. So we are looking into the image, and then we have that particular text over here. We are looking into the image, then we have the text for what that name is. Okay, so this is how we learn, and we have learned this way only. Okay, from childhood. Now, if I ask in the next slide that what exactly is this? And I know you will be easily able to answer that what is this? These are nothing but grapes. Similar way, if I ask what are these, you'll be able to answer these are bananas and this is an apple. So how are you able to do this? Like, why you are able to very much correctly answer that what exactly is that particular fruit? Because you have a data which is stored into your mind, and that data is in the form this one. Okay, so this we call it as the pattern and the label which is associated to that particular pattern. Okay, so we know that bananas they are yellow in color, and they are a little lengthy, okay, like cylindrical kind of thing. Their shape is there. So we have some input properties or features of banana, and then the label name is banana itself. So this is what we know, okay, about banana. This is what we know, and therefore we are able to say that this is banana. Similar way for all the fruits, we have understanding that how that particular fruit looks like, and we are able to basically answer as per the feature. This is what this thing is with everything. So you can just look around, and while looking around, you can see that there might be some tube lights or bulbs or curtains or windows. Okay, so wherever you are sitting, you'll be able to see these things, and you can just try to do this mapping. That how do you know this? Because you have that data inside your mind that the features are for a curtain. Okay, something which is quite soft and which can take different shapes. And which hangs on a rod, that is called as a curtain. So you have certain features, and you know what is the label to be given to them. This is what actually happens. Okay, in case of supervised learning, the data is label data over here. Okay, so very important to understand this part, that the data is label data over here. Then another example, let's have a definition, and then another example I'll give. So the definition for supervised learning says that supervised learning is machine learning task of learning a function that maps an input to an output based on example input output pairs. Okay, very simple thing, that we have so many example input output pairs, and if we try to learn from them. Okay, so if we try to learn from example input output pairs, that is basically called as supervised learning. Okay, so what happens? We try to create a function. Okay, or in simple terms, a formula. We try to formulate a formula, and that formula will have the mapping function, that how input is associated to output. What are the common things which basically makes everything getting associated? So input and output pairs are there, and our objective is to create a mapping function. That is what we want to create in supervised learning. Now look at this particular image. Okay, just look at the image. If I ask you that, can you group these images? Now, like, they don't have any label. Okay, they don't have any kind of label. Label means a name given to the image. Nothing is there. So you must have now thought a lot of things that if you have to group these things, then option one could be you can go with color. Okay, you can see some are white in color and some are something like greenish or bluish. Okay, so you can take color as one of the parameter or feature to group them. That is one option, and obviously that is there. There could be some other options as well based upon the shape, like are they too edgy, like there are some sharp edges, or they have soft edges, soft corners. So based upon that also you can work. Okay, so ultimately you have to find a way to group these particular items. So I went with color. You can see cluster 0, cluster 1, cluster 0, cluster 1. So I went with color. Okay, so I have all the whites in cluster 0, all the let's say greens, I will call it as green as of now, green as in cluster 1. Okay, so we were able to divide it into groups. Okay, so now what is the difference then? Okay, when you do this, then what is the difference between the supervised learning and the unsupervised learning? What is the primary difference? Here you can see that the primary difference is we try to identify the patterns in the data set and then we group it. In case of supervised learning, we already have input output pairs. That means already the groups are formed, and we just need to work upon one thing, and that is finding out the patterns to group the data. In case of unsupervised learning, finding out the patterns. Now, the next part is something which is a different way of learning. You can see this particular image, very interesting. So this particular image tells me that the objective here is the pet should be able to hold that particular ball. And you can just see that in the initial images, it is very difficult for the pet to do so. Right? So the pet is finding it difficult. And it's natural. Like the pet might not have experienced it earlier. But the objective of the person who is throwing the ball is that the pet should be able to catch it. Okay, and that's not happening here in the initial images. So what the person can do is the person can have a strategy that whenever the pet is able to catch the ball, the person will give him something to eat and will come and pamper, and so all these kind of things the person will do. And whenever the pet is not able to catch the ball, the owner will not speak for some time. Okay, and even the owner won't give anything to eat. So now pet is trying to understand and realize. So in some time, the pet is able to understand that it has to catch the ball. This is a new type of learning which is called as reinforcement learning, where basically the rewards or the penalties encourage the agent or the pet to catch or not catch the ball. So whenever the pet is getting positive reward, and that is the time when the pet is able to catch that particular ball, then basically the dog actually realizes that I need to catch because I'm getting some rewards for catching the ball. Okay, so it basically happens this way. This is third type of learning, that is reinforcement learning. The components in case of reinforcement learning we have are, we have the whole environment. The whole environment is there. There will be one agent. As of now, I'm talking about single agent. There can be multiple agents also. A single agent is there, and this single agent is performing some action. That action is giving some reward or some negative reward penalty, and based upon the penalty, the the agent is getting an experience that yes, by taking this step I'll be getting reward, by taking this step I'll be getting a penalty. This thing is learning, agent is learning. Agent knows the goal state and will keep on moving towards the goal state. Okay, so this diagram explains the same thing. Now, this type of learning, if you see, initially the agent is naive, doesn't know anything, but over the period of time, the agent becomes expert, right? So agent gains expertise, and agent is able to do very rightful actions. So this is the third type of learning, which is reinforcement learning. Now, so humans can typically create one or two good models a week. Machine learning can create thousands of model a week. Okay, so that is basically something which Thomas has said, and which is true also. So we have reached to discussion of different terminologies, and we are now very much clear that how this actually is all related to each other, from data science to data mining, and then to artificial intelligence, and then to machine learning. Now, let us come to deep learning. Okay, a topic of our interest.